everybody. Wow. Since the last time we talked, the world's really gone mad. What a crazy time. I pray that things get better and the country figures out how to heal its wounds and move on. Alright, so something I want to talk about today that came to me. I usually just try to think about what do I think people need to hear or listen to. What do they need to learn? So, when it comes to investing, we've talked about all kinds of things. Now you probably at this point you should know more about differences between a mutual fund and a stock and how to purchase them and how to use the tools and how to keep an eye on these things and stuff like that. So what I'm looking at right here, this is my portfolio right now. This is my holdings portfolio. And so when you're doing this stuff, now I've got several securities right now. I'm One thing I wanted to point out, you don't necessarily need to have this many. You'd probably find about 4 or 5 are plenty. These are just a lot of good ones that have decided to pick up on. But anyways, and you can tell it's still early morning. Huh? Can't get my head together. So when you have a portfolio and maybe you have 4 or 5 stocks or ETFs picked out that you like, the key is you're going to want to watch them and monitor them. Earlier before in an earlier video I showed you how I analyze, looking at like the curve. Let's look at a curve real fast here. Come on. Internet's a little slow out here. So when I'm looking at long-term aspect of the investment, I like to look at a 1 year or a 6 month chart, and that gives me an idea of what I expect the security to get back to or to go to. In other words, I'm looking at the trend. All right, but that's long term. So why am I pointing this out? Well, you use the charting to look at the trends. Let's look at another one. This is Gush. Gush is actually doing fairly well. Okay, so you can see this. You can look. Oh wow, here's all this virus crap going on. The world's gone crazy, but it's starting to come back. But you can look at this and you can see that the trend, that this security is going to be trading a lot higher than what it is right now. So I'm just waiting. Okay. But so far it's done okay. All right. I'm happy with all of it. So the point is when you're using these charts, you're looking at trends, right? So the same thing goes with your portfolio. Look for trends, because these trends are going to be the areas where you're going to find profit, alpha, right? You're seeking alpha, you're seeking profits. That's why you're investing, okay? So, for example, I've got my portfolio here, and one of the things I've been noticing is about every week and a half or so, something like that, maybe 2 weeks, this goes up to about 30%, and then it'll come back down to 10 to 15%, or like here you see it at 16%. But again, it gets up to about 30, sometimes a little higher, I think maybe 32, I don't recall exactly, but it gets up there and then it comes back down. And as this percentage increases, just so you look and see what we're looking at here, this is total percent change and total change. So right now what this is showing me is that my whole portfolio is up 16.47%. And if I excuse me, if I sold everything right now, I would profit $385. Okay? So when this goes up to about 30%, this is usually sitting at around like, I don't know, 650 or something like that, 660, 670. I don't keep that close to tabs on it, but I'm going to start. But the point being is I'm watching this trend of it goes up and it goes down, it goes up and it goes down. And so what I'm going to start doing is I'm going to start looking, again, look at strategies. So one of the strategies I'm looking at doing right now is that when the next time when this gets up to about 28 to 30%, I'm going to look at the dollar amount here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look down through here and I'm going to see the ones where I've got the most gain. And I'm going to take this dollar amount and I'm going to sell off some of these shares worth the amount of the gain. So in other words, if this goes from right here 385 and it goes up, say it goes up to 690, whatever, right? Figure out that difference. I'm going to sell off a few shares, taking profit. Okay. Then when it goes back down again to say 10% or 15%, I'm going to look to go back and buy some of these shares back. So I'm looking at selling high and buying low. Sell high, buy low. It's not a lot of profit that you're going to pull off doing that. But if this goes up to say 680, okay, and here it's at 380. So basically we're looking at $300. So in the next week, maybe 2 weeks with all the craziness that's going on right now, but say in 2 weeks from now, this shoots up to 30%, and I pull out $300, okay? And then I'm going to watch it. If it starts to go back down, then I'm going to watch it trend back down, and when it does, I'm going to rebuy the stock. Okay, maybe this time I'll buy a little more. I don't know. I'll decide, probably. But probably so. I'll probably buy more. And then I'm going to wait to see it trend back up. Now, ultimately, I'm looking at a lot of these to really go up high. So if I sell a little bit off and I've missed it meaning it just continues to rise and the market's just flying high, okay? So then maybe I buy a couple of shares as that continues. In other words, the trend it's going to eventually change. But for right now, that seems to be the trend of going up and going down. So to give an idea of what I'm talking about, here we'll look at this one. And now, I'm not talking day trading. I want to make one thing clear here. A day trader would be looking to like sell here and then buy down here and then sell up here and maybe buy down here again and then sell up here, buy, sell, and buy, right? A lot of these accounts like the type I have, I don't believe that they allow day trading, meaning they don't want you to sell and buy the same security in the same day. Could be wrong. I haven't gone back and looked lately. But normally when you're day trading, the brokerage that you're going through charges more for that. But there's nothing wrong with selling here. Let me go to the 5-day. That's really the point I was going to get at. There's nothing wrong with you, say, buying here and then boom, selling there. And then maybe over here, buy here and then sell there. So you're not so much buying and selling the same security 20 times in a day, but over the course of a week or maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you might buy and sell that same security. That's not day trading. But if you're buying and selling the same security 20, 30 times in a day, that's day trading. And that's a lot of work, to be honest with you. I mean, you're literally just glued to your monitor all day long. If that's what you want to do, go for it. That's another strategy. But I've got better things to do. I actually have a job and I've got to work it. So anyhow, that's a strategy of what I'm looking to follow. So the key is you're going to look at these shorter time frame charts to give you a better idea maybe which ones you might want to sell off and do that. Let's look at Gush again. Okay. So if I look at the 5-day, see in the 5-day, there's a lot of opportunity right there where I could have I could have sold it, and then I could have bought it. And not a lot of profit, but some. Okay? And that's all you're looking for. A little here, a little there, a little here, a little there. It's those nuggets you collect along the way, but that's one strategy. And so it's just a matter of monitoring your portfolio, looking for trends like that. Now, I notice this trend. Why? Because I watch this throughout the day, and I watch it usually every trading day, unless I'm just really busy. But because of watching it, I've noticed that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. Wow, dry throat today, huh? I've noticed this trend, and it's because of paying attention to it. I've been able to notice that. Now, one of the things you can do if you really want to get kind of like anal about this is you can do screenshots every day. And maybe pick a certain time of the day, like around the time frame you'd maybe be trading, and take screenshots. Say like every day at 11 o'clock. Take screenshots and take a look at it, and you'll notice the difference. That's one way to do it. But anyhow, this is one strategy. I hope it helps you. If it does, great. If it's not for you, don't worry about it. Not a big deal. Take care. Bye.